Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to get into the secrets of the present tense in English. Now, you probably think you have the rules down, but what if I told you some of the biggest ones are just waiting to be broken? Let's dive in.
I mean, we've all heard this, right? But think back to your English classes. You were probably told you can't use a verb like love with ing. It's a state verb after all. So is one of the most famous slogans in the world just bad grammar? Well, the answer isn't as simple as you think.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go way beyond the simple textbook rules to really get why these exceptions exist. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to feel so much more confident and creative with your English.
Okay, first things first. To understand how to break the rules, we've got to understand the rule itself. And it all starts with this special group of words we call state verbs.
So what on earth is a state verb? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. These verbs don't describe something you do, they describe a state you're in. Think of it like a condition or a thought or a feeling. It doesn't really have a start and a finish, it just is.
Just take a look at these classic examples. It makes sense when you think about it, right? You can't really perform the action of knowing something. You just know it. You don't do the action of owning a car, you just own it. They describe a steady condition, and that's why we usually just stick with the simple present tense for them.
But here's our first big twist. We actually can use the ing form, but we do it for a very specific reason, to add emphasis. If you say, the children love having her here, that's a general fact. It's true all the time. But if you say, they are loving it, you're emphasizing that this is a very active, current, and maybe even temporary feeling. It's happening right now, and they are really, really enjoying it. See the difference?
All right, let's take this a step further because this is where it gets really fun. Some verbs are like grammatical chameleons. They can be both a state verb and an action verb, and it all just depends on the context.
Let's look at the word appear. When it means to seem, it's a state. The app seems to be broken. That's its condition. But when appear means to perform or take part in something, well, that's a full-on action. She is appearing on stage. She's actively doing something. It's the same word, but it's playing two totally different roles, which means it follows two different grammar rules.
And this same logic works for verbs about thinking. If you say, he considers taking early retirement, that's his general opinion on the matter. But if you say, he's considering it, you're emphasizing the process. You can almost see the gears turning in his head. The ing makes that mental action feel alive and ongoing.
Oh, and this example is just perfect. It shows you the emotional power of the continuous tense. Saying, I regret my decision is kind of flat. It's a fact. But I'm regretting my decision? Wow, that tells a whole story. It feels like the regret is growing. It's active in your mind right now, and it's this painful, ongoing realization.
So, here's the key takeaway for this part. Using ing with verbs like regret, realize, or think isn't some kind of grammar mistake. No way. It's a smart, intentional choice. You're using it to show that a thought process is happening right now, or that you've just started to feel or understand something new.
Okay, on to our last category, and honestly, this one is my favorite. These are verbs that don't just describe an action, the word itself is the action. Let's meet the performatives.
Just think about it for a second. When you say the words, I promise, you're not describing a promise you made earlier. No, in that exact moment of speaking, you are making the promise. The word is the action. It's the same for when you apologize or guarantee something or refuse. So cool, right?
And here are some of the most common ones. When we're making a positive statement, we almost always use these in the simple present. You say, I apologize, not I'm apologizing. And why is that? Because the action is instant. The second you say the word, the apology is done. It's complete.
But, of course, there's a little twist. When you use these verbs in a negative statement, things get a bit more flexible. You can say, I don't deny it, which sounds very direct and final, or you could say, I'm not denying it, which can soften things a little. It's like you're saying, hey, right now, in this conversation, denying it is not what I'm doing. Both are totally fine.
Phew, okay, we've gone through a lot of theory. State of verbs, verbs with two faces, and these awesome performative verbs. Now, let's get our hands dirty and see how this all works in the real world.
So, have a look at the email on the screen. There are a few grammar choices we need to make here. This is our chance to put everything we just learned to the test. Let's break down a couple of these together.
Okay, let's check out that first one. I apologize. This is a classic performative verb, right? The very act of writing this email is the apology. So, simple present, I apologize, is the natural, correct choice. Now, let's jump down to number 6. I'm considering buying a car. In this case, the writer wants to show that this is an active, ongoing thought process. So the continuous form, I'm considering, is absolutely perfect. It communicates that extra layer of meaning.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. This is the big takeaway. Grammar isn't about just blindly memorizing and following rules. It's about having a toolbox and choosing the right tool to express exactly what you mean. Do you want to state a simple fact, or do you want to emphasize an ongoing experience? The choice is yours, and that's what makes language so powerful.
So, from now on, when you hear a grammar rule being broken, don't just think it's wrong, ask yourself why. What meaning is that person trying to create? Language is alive, it's flexible, and understanding these nuances is what will take your English to the next level. So, what other rules do you like to bend to get your point across? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for tuning in.